relationships. Now, I dropped a video on this today. It's really difficult to make a video on something that could include naughty behavior and still keep monetized on YouTube.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So that video was very short. I'll let you take the lead on this.
Yeah, so from what we understand anyways, there's a lot of different mechanics and systems that from what we can understand, that Rockstar are looking to implement with this Bonnie and Clyde-like duo with Jason and Lucia. In terms of the leaked files that came from the September 2022 leaks, there's a lot of different things that we have seen in regards to this, a lot of different world events, a few examples as well that we'll touch on in a moment, and also, you know, what we have seen officially from the trailer as well. Obviously, very briefly, it was only 1 minute or so not much to really go off, but it seems that this dynamic between the two is going to be much more interesting, obviously, from a relationship point of view, because Rockstar have never done this before. They have never done a GTA with a male and a female protagonist. They've never done a love story situation or relationship before. So, yeah, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I feel like, we won't go far back as San Andreas because that is too far back, but maybe if we start with like GTA 4, obviously Nico could date multiple women. In GTA 5, obviously we could meet ladies in the Vanilla Unicorn Club, but the relationship, it wasn't part of the story, whereas with GTA 6, the focus of the story, from what we understand, is going to be around a dynamic duo, a relationship. What this could mean for like character development and some of the challenges we face in the game, because normally in GTA games the biggest challenge we face is our enemy is stopping us from doing a thing, whereas with GTA 6 it could be the personal relationship with Jason and Lucia that prevents something from happening. It also makes for some very interesting endings for the game. Now, we know how Bonnie and Clyde ended.
Yep.
For GTA 6, you know, it could be a similar ending. I feel like that might be a bit too predictable. But maybe we're put in a position where we may have to sever the relationship with Jason and Lucia to get to some other alternate goal or ending. But also as well, like we've seen in Red Dead Redemption 2 that Rockstar can experiment with how the world reacts to you, like whether you have good karma or bad karma. And, you know, that's always been, like, for example, Arthur Morgan, you know, people may not like him because he's always negative or acts negative to other people, or they might love him because he's always positive and he does good things and greets people. But at the same time, that being applied directly to two lead roles in the game, like if one of our lead characters doesn't like the other lead character because their relationship is turbulent because you're playing as Jason and you've spent a lot of your time with ladies of the night. I'm having to be really careful about what I say here. I want to stay monetized.
It's the PGG rated version.
Yeah, this is really difficult. But yeah, like for example, like would you be able to annoy Lucia by doing things as Jason and vice versa?
Yeah, well, that's right, vice versa, because it could even be the other way around, where Lucia could be fooling around with other men, you know. So that could really play into obviously the dynamic between the two in terms of, you know, them arguing over something, a situation that has occurred or whatever. And like you said as well, with the Red Dead Redemption 2 sort of like the camps, like how we engage and like with other camp members. Like, you know, there's situations in that camp, for example, where if you do something positive, the camp members will say, "Oh, great job, Arthur," or if you do something like really negative to the point where they just knock you out, or knock Arthur out. So yeah, particularly interesting to see how Rockstar will build upon those systems that have been implemented within RDO 2 and then of course within GTA 6. So also as well, actually, you know, those world events obviously that came out within the leaked clips. Obviously, there was a bunch of them. A few examples, one specifically that I saw was the fact that you could actually alter the radio station songs. So that could maybe have a bit of a different impact on the outcome of the situation occurring. Let's say you're driving as Jason or Lucia or vice versa, whatever it is. From what we understand, there was some, in the leaked files, there was like pragmatic cool, pragmatic chaotic, or romantic cool, or romantic chaotic. Could this mean that maybe we could play a song that could dictate what occurs next within the story or within that particular mission or something? That could be something that would be, very intriguing to see how Rockstar go about it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a different way of looking at, like, for example, in GTA 4, whenever Nico took a girl on a date, there would be certain activities she'd enjoy, certain cars that she'd like to be picked up in. It could be very similar that, for example, like, if you're driving in the car with Lucia and Lucia doesn't like a certain style of music or a certain song, the radio station might get changed to fit the vibe of them being together. But also as well, like, for example, if you're in a police chase, you know, radio station could change. I think that's like another dynamic element which represents the mood of Jason and Lucia, rather than just like, I think the overall impression I'm getting from the relationship dynamics based on the information we've seen is that it's not linear. There's so many different variables that can affect that relationship between Jason and Lucia.
Yes. I think we're going to be seeing so many different types of non-linear options compared to previous Rockstar titles. I don't know if you saw that video that Nakey Jakey made on Red Dead Redemption 2 in terms of RDR2 being too linear. Have you seen that video that came out like many years ago? I don't know.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Nakey Jakey's so good.
Yeah, he's really good. Shout out to him. There could be, Rockstar could potentially be planning to incorporate some more non-linear options, maybe having much more of many more options in regards to that, rather than sort of the linear approach that they've been going for with a lot of the different GTAs. So this could be, it could be the dynamic between the two, and the different options that we could have as the player could dictate how the story could occur. How many different endings could we get? Like, there's so many different factors to take into account.
But that's the thing as well. Like, Rockstar, give or take, has about somewhere between 5,000 to 6,000 employees employed at the moment. Let's just say like 75% of them are working on GTA 6, and they've been working on it for a number of years. It's very possible that by the third mission, we can make a decision which completely changes the story. There could be two stories taking place in, we've seen it, examples of it with GTA 5, the 3 possible endings, but that means that they've only got to make really 3 missions to dictate the ending of the game. Obviously, if they make it earlier on in the game, then you've got to create 3 complex storylines. Ooh. But I think, do you know Detroit Become Human, that game?
Yes.
So I think that, the fact is like there's 5 different ways to get to the same point, and there may be 2 endings, but you can take different paths to get to those different endings. That game was really impressive, and we know Rockstar is a way more powerful developer in the terms of the way that they can create stories. I feel like the Detroit Become Human aspect, where there could be like, the end of the mission could be exactly the same, but the way we get to the end of the mission could be 4 or 5 or 6 different alternate routes. That would just make the game have that replayability factor where you could play it through 20 times and still have a different experience.
I think if they take inspiration from that, Detroit Become Human is a really good example of different sort of branching alternate endings or whatever throughout. So it sounds all very exciting. So we have to wait and see.
Right.